Welcome to Las Vegas Trader YouTube channel and a weekly analysis video of the financial markets. These videos are for educational purposes only, and nothing in this video should be construed as financial advice or recommendation to buy or sell any sort of security or investment. Consult a professional advisor before making any financial decisions. So let's just jump right in the charts. Let's make this video as short as possible. And I was busy all day, so I'm kind of tired. But I just want to say also that I will be going live, day trading live on Tuesday and Wednesday, but between 5 to 10 minutes before the market opens. So also Sunday afternoon, market open, I'll probably live streaming as well. So anyways, let's jump into the charts. This is the S&P 500, the daily chart. As you remember, I called for this move up, and now last week I called for the indices to roll over, and that's exactly what has happened. We had a hard time pushing through the highs, and we rolled over hard. So this is the daily chart. Let's take a look at the weekly. The weekly looks pretty bearish now to me, and we are definitely going down. We're probably going to have a little pullback to the upside. We test this 20-day moving average and continue down. And the monthly chart looks like this. Once again, this pattern looks very similar to this one. The only difference is this bottoming tail is green, this one is red. And now we are forming nice red candle. So let's go to our NASDAQ daily chart. So as you can see, it's a little more dramatic on NASDAQ. So again, I think we're going to pull back a little bit, retest this 200, and stay below it and continue down. But this green bar is pretty strong and big, so we're going to have a lot of resistance. So if we come down all the way down, to like 17,700 or so area, 17,800, probably maybe pull back a little bit, but there's definitely support at these levels. So that's the daily. Let's take a look at the weekly. So weekly, look at this bar, completely took out this green bar, these two bars. So like I said, we're probably going to retest this 200 and come back down. On the weekly chart, the support will be, of course, the 50-day moving average. We had a first crack at it. So the second time around, we'll probably break right through it because this was powerful week to the downside. And the monthly chart looks like this. Again, this pattern, very similar to this one. And continuation to the downside is very likely. So let's move on to Dow Jones. So what I see is pretty much a double top or a triple top, you want to call it. But I see a double top, okay? So we are right below, just below the 50-day moving average. Small pullback to the upside, retest the 50, and continuation to the downside. On the weekly chart, we just retested the highs, and now we just took out these two bars. So continuation to the downside is likely to be seen. And same thing on the monthly chart, just like S&P 500 and NASDAQ. Let's go to Russell, the daily chart. So we are sitting close to the 200-day moving average now. So we're probably going to see a little pullback again because there's support in these levels here. And of course the 200-day moving average. But I think we're Let's take a look at the weekly first. Yeah, we're gonna go down even more. So maybe a small retracement and then break right through the 200. I mean, we had once, came close here, twice, third time probably will be broken through and followed through to the downside. So here's the weekly, and 2000 would be my target at least, maybe below that. If we form another bar like this, that would take us right down to this tail area. So that is very likely. And of course the monthly. So we had a first crack at these moving averages, and of course September, if you know, is a bearish month, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. So I think continuation to the down, and we're going to break to these moving averages. So now let's move on to crude oil on the daily chart. So if you remember, I called for this move down to this support level. So now there's congestion here and support in these levels. So I thought we might come down, well, to roughly $66 and change. We almost did and pulled back. So now, if we take this red bar out in one swoop to the upside, we're going back up. If not, we're going to have a continuation to the downside and retest these lows here at the support of $65 or so. But let's take a look at the weekly chart. So we're definitely going to go a little further down. 65 would be right around here, which is very likely. So I think we're going to go for the week to the downside. And the monthly chart. So if you remember, I called the move to the upside because of this green bar, but we were pretty much just moving sideways, very little follow through. And we didn't break the 20-day moving average. We just stayed above on this month, previous month. But now this month, we roughly have 3 weeks left. So we might be retesting this 50-day moving average and this support level here of $57 or so. So that's the monthly chart. Let's go to gold. Let's kind of breeze right through these. Try to make this video 15 minutes or less. So it looks a little bearish, but we are kind of stuck in this chop here right now. But we took out this green bar. I barely took out this green bar. And we're barely sitting below the 20-day moving average. Well, let's take a look at the weekly, what it looks like. So we might be just pulling back slowly, and then rocket to the upside once the Fed cuts interest rates. Then we'll see a pop to the upside, I think. And here's the monthly chart. So we're seeing little small pullbacks. And probably continuation to the upside, like I said, later this month. And let's take a look at the silver here. Start with the daily. So it looks we're going to go to the downside. We test this 200 and these support levels of about $27 want to pick up more silver coins. So I'm hoping it does that too. But I think we're going to at least 27 bucks. We're going to crack this 200. The weekly chart looks like this. As you remember, this week right here, this bar, I said we're going down. That's exactly what happened. We barely broke above the 20-day moving average and completely erased this bar. So now we're going lower. $27 is right over here at the 50-day moving average, and possibly the 200. Depends how strong the bears are in silver. And the monthly, so the 27 would be right around here, and the stop would be right around the moving averages. So we might produce another one of these tail bars like this. First go down, and then once the Fed cuts rates, we're gonna go move back up and produce another tail, bottoming tail. So let's move on to Bitcoin. So this is the futures. Let's go with the forex. So we're sitting right at support. Okay. So I think we're gonna pull back a little more, and then continuation and retest this tail here, the lows of 49.8 looks like. That's the daily chart, the weekly. So now it makes sense why I pulled back, because we hit the 50, but we did crack at it once. Now it's the second time around, and I think we're gonna break right through it and come down to 49.5 or so, or even lower. So we're gonna have let's see, 1, 2, another push down. And the monthly chart, same thing. I would not be surprised if we even come down for the month to $44. 44 yeah, 44,000. Yeah, right around that area. Okay, so now let's go to the dollar. So as you remember, last week I said we're going down, and now we're going to retest this support level right over here, and that's exactly what happened. So we broke down, barely just went below the bottom of this tail here, but now we went back, retested this 20-day moving average, which is declining, and now we formed a bottoming tail. Looks like it's forming a double bottom. So I see dollar going up, which coincides with what I said about precious metals going down, which they trade in inversely. So dollar goes up, gold and silver goes down most of the time. So that's what I see here. And as you can see, we came down to the 200-day moving average, which is rising. And we're going to move back up, I believe. So the monthly chart, like I said last week, we're going to come down and retest this 50-day moving average, which is we almost did. So now if this bar turns green, possibly move a lot higher for the dollar. And last but not least, the bond market. Okay, so this is the daily chart. So we are sitting right at resistance point 1 here, and the second point here. So we tried to break above it, and we formed a topping tail. All three moving averages are rising. and the weekly chart looks like this, and we closed above this red bar and just below the opening of this red bar. So once we break above the resistance, 109 is the target eventually, at least on the weekly chart here. So, and the monthly chart, as you remember, I keep saying, week after week, month after month, reverse head and shoulders. Same thing on the weekly chart. There's one shoulder, the head, and the second shoulder. Okay, so now we are above the declining 20-day moving average. So now we need to clear above this red action and this bar, and there's going to be resistance at 109 and change. Let's just call it 110 area, and but the target on the monthly chart is 120, even number, 120, 117 to 120. Okay, so that's the monthly chart, and that's the video for this week. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like the video, hit the bell notification icon, and again, I will be going live day trading on Sunday afternoon, Tuesday morning, and Wednesday morning, 6:20 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:20 Eastern Standard Time. And that's about it for this week. If you have not watched last week's video, I keep posting in the community tab. Go watch the video. Go watch the video. Look what happened. What's happening this week. I mean, these videos eventually, most likely next month, will be only accessible to the members only. So enjoy them while they're still free, and you're getting this analysis of these markets from me, which I'm pretty, pretty accurate. Just go watch the videos, look at the charts, see what happens. So, anyways, I'll see you probably Sunday afternoon, which is I'm recording this video on Saturday, so tomorrow, and Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Take care.